I'm gonna go over the triangle. I'll go over from side control. I think it's a great spot to get it from. But before, actually, can I have you down? When we're going for the triangle, you go to your knees. Okay, is one arm is inside, right? And also too, my legs can go to this side, but not to necessarily choke, but more to attack the shoulder. But this side, I'll be able to choke. So when you guys are in the triangle, if your legs, like granted, not all of us have long legs, right? So if I wrap my legs around the shoulder or the lat area, see, I'm not gonna be able to lock the triangle. And there's so much space for Vince to breathe, right?
Hey, Sock right here. I'm sorry for interrupting you watching this video. I have great news. You can watch at Atos Jiu-Jitsu on demand right now, 100% free. You go on the weekly series. We have like pretty much courses every week about the techniques that we teach you at Atos headquarters. Go there right now in the description below, click on the link, and then you're gonna go straight forward to our weekly series category. And then right there, you're gonna click and you're gonna watch the first class 100% free, 100% free, okay? And please, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, okay, on our channel. And I appreciate that. Keep watching. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Os.
So my goal is to try to have his shoulder to his like cheek to his neck. This is my goal right here. Because what this is going to do, it's going to choke him on one side, and the other side, my hamstring's going to choke him, right? So this is where that triangle choke comes in. So things I can do, right? You guys can put your foot on the hip. You can put your foot on the mat, but I feel like this disconnection here is not my favorite. But again, it's your choice. So you can go foot on the hip. You don't have to use your foot on the hip. You can use the momentum of the hip switch. You can then put your foot on the mat as well. Okay. When you guys are holding your shin, all right, the higher you hold your shin, the more difficult it will be to rotate your hips and get that angle. You guys can hold, when you're adjusting here, you can hold the outside of your foot. I personally don't like to do this one here. I feel like I'm going to ankle lock myself. So if I am going to hold the outside of my foot, it'll be closer to my heel, because then it's not going to roll my ankle as much. Because if I go here, see, I'm pulling my ankle here. Or I'm pulling my toes, I'm rolling my ankle. But if I hold my heel, see, my foot can stay neutral, and then I can lock it. So for safety purposes, I don't like to hold the balls of my foot, but more so the heel. The next thing too is when you guys are going for the triangle and you're here, the cues can be different. One of the first cues I learned is where hit their forearm. My chest should be parallel with their forearm here, so I can get that angle to then lock the triangle, right? That's still something I like to do. But for like finishing the triangle, once you guys are here, you can use, again, you can use your foot on the hip, or also too, you can use like your inner thigh on top of the shoulder to push down on to get a better angle here, right? So if I'm here in the triangle, I can use my foot, depending on the legs, you guys can lock here, right? Or to tighten it, you would then use your inner thigh on top of the shoulder. See, now I'm covering a shoulder here. Now it's a really strong finish, okay? Things you guys could do too is when you're in the triangle, you can turn the head to this direction and pull down, right? I know kids can't pull on the head, right? So you guys can hold your shin or your knee if you can't pull your head in the competition. But everyone else, pull the head. And then I rotate his head from here to here. So if I have Vince in the triangle, right? Say I just locked it here. If I pull and squeeze here, okay, versus me turning the head, and then I pull and squeeze the same way, he taps a lot faster. So that's a little thing that Professor Andre showed me a long time ago, is just altering the head this direction here. If you make his head face the other way, it's not going to work. Make him look at his own hand this way, and then pull the head, okay? One thing too, if you guys are rounding, that makes it easier for the person to stack you. So if he goes here, see, and then this becomes a problem, okay? So if you are going for the triangle, try to have heavy legs and hips. Because now essentially instead of a ball, it's more of like a box. And he's gonna push me here, right? So you can't stack me here. Versus if I'm rounded, see, now he's gonna stack me and it gets uncomfortable. And you have the people who use like the You have like big guys that let you triangle with them, and then they do this, and it works 95% of the time, right? So just be careful with that, okay? So again, I want the arm across. If the elbow is still here, bridge up, and then there's gonna be a slight in between where, as I bring my hips back down, it'll be easy for me to bring the arm across. So it's like if I have 2 and 1, I bridge up, and then I bring my knees to my chest. Now once I'm here, I can then get that angle. I can lock my legs around the shoulders. I can use my knee. See how there's no space here? This was deleted. And now I can then lock here. Okay? Any questions on that? No? Yeah.
When I'm doing the triangle, when they come up, like they almost like stack me forward. I don't know how to counter when they stack me.
Yeah, I think immediate, like, first thing too is like try not to stay rounded. Because I feel like we always do this and we're always rounding. One thing too is like you have to change the angle. So like if we're in the same line, I'm gonna get stacked. So if I feel he's stacking me, then I'm gonna bring him this way. And then I can start adjusting my hips again. Or if I feel he's about to stand up, I'm already anticipating this leg and I'll rock. So if they're in the same line, it's gonna be very difficult to stop them from stacking you. You'll feel it with him. Any other questions? No? All right. Let's go side control. So, in side control, I want the shoulder isolated, his right shoulder. Move your right arm, please. I want this isolated. I don't want his elbow inside, okay? So, things I'm doing is I'm having my Spider-Man grip in his armpit. As I pull that in, I'm forcing him to rotate. I want to make Vince very uncomfortable, okay? What I'm going to do is a very basic, like it's kind of like a trap, right? It's like a bait, you're fishing here. Is I'm going to put my knee on his stomach, and I'm going to wait for him to like post on my knee to prevent me from putting more pressure. And then once that comes, I pin his hand to his chest, and I can fall back or roll forward, either or, okay? Another thing you guys can do too is you can pass the lapel. Right here, I take out the slack, and I start setting up a Bravo, or if he's framing on me here, I can also go to like a gift wrap, and I'm doing what my goal was with the pinning his wrist right with my hand. But the one I'll show, I see it all the time, and people miss this little like fish here. So I pull one, I lock this in, and I'm keeping it tight. One of my things too that I tell is like, you don't want him to look to you because then he'll be comfortable. So I use my shoulder to make him like look away. One of the analogies that my, or not analogy, but one of the things my first professor said was like, don't let people look at your mom. So he would always like do this here, right? So I always thought that was a great way for me to remember it. So either hand in the fingers in the armpit or passing the collar, and then I'm here. Okay, active toes always. Now my free hand, I can start posting on the knee to go here. I can grab the hip, because all I'm going to be doing, I'm not going to be going like scoring 2 points like this, because again, I need this arm isolated. What I'll be doing is I'll be driving here, but I'll bring my knee onto his stomach, okay? And at the same time, I'm not just placing it here. I'm doing this. I'm pushing my knee into his stomach, right? And at the same time, I'm driving into him. I'm not going to force anything. I'm going to stay here. I'm waiting for Vince to use his hand on my knee, right? Because if not, my knees are just going to keep going into him, okay? Now the first option, pin the wrist. I'm going to tuck my leg underneath, and I'm going to pull him on top of me. And then see how I'm pinning his hand to his wrist? That's when I let go. And I again go to the triangle here. And then now I start bridging. And then right here, I don't pass it like from here. As soon as I get this here and I put both hands underneath, I'm like pushing myself to reach for like the ceiling. And then I pull back this way. And now I can start adjusting the triangle from there. Okay? The next one is, actually I'll go one more like this so you guys can see my foot. I'm not falling this way. My foot is tucking inside. I need to sit down. Also too, they may bridge into you. When they bridge into you, see I tuck my foot. and I can already catch my shin and attack here. I can like rotate sideways to get my hand underneath. I can start attacking the shoulder, start bridging up, and the head if I need to. Okay. The next one. Let's see this way. Yeah. Is once I'm here, it's gonna be the same thing I'm trapping. Is once I'm like posting on the, he's posting on my knee, I can start going to the mount this way. You guys can roll all the way through if you want, or you could just stay here and go for the mounted triangle. Now when I see people go for the mounted triangle, they try to go adjust their foot like while they're over the head. I don't like adjusting it here. I feel like I'm gonna blow my knee out. So what do is as I'm here, you see there's no space, I need to delete this. So that's why when I go here, I cinch it. My back leg is gonna hike up and trap his arm in my hip. Now I'm leaning in the direction that my knee is pointing, which is this way. So that's how I find it easier for me to then lift up my foot off the mat and then lock the triangle. You guys don't have to lock the triangle here, to be honest. Like, you can finish here. You can even start bridging this out and then start finishing like this, right? But if you want to roll, you can roll if you wanted to stay on the mount versus like this. See how there's no space for me to like lift up my own leg. But if I go in the direction of my knee, I can kind of go to my quad here, or okay. So those are the two options. Your partner can go fall back, they can jump over to the mounted triangle, or create like this scramble where it forces you to do like a roll. Okay? Got it? Questions? Yeah.
I know like the end goal is like to submit, but do I have to fully commit to the knee and belly for it to be counted as 2 points, or does it count as 2 points from the situation?
How do you get 2 points on knee and belly?
Your knee is on his belly.
Okay. Is the other knee on the mat or off the mat?
From my angle, it's not.
Yeah, so there's no 2 points.
Okay.
So if you wanted 2 points, you gotta lift up that leg.
Okay, so both legs off the mat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Because if I'm here and I do this, yeah, technically the knee's on belly, but it's not like that like establishing position.
Yeah.
But for me, like, I'm able to have my knee here and I'm able to do this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
With this, even though like my knee is off the mat, it still wouldn't be counted as 2 points.
It'll be 2 points. It's off the mat.
Okay.
Right? So if your knees are, one knee's on the mat, points or no points?
No, of course
No.
no. Point.
Right? My knees are not off the mat, but my hip is on his hip. Points or no points?
There's no points,
points, right?
Knees on the mat.
So I need to have this.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why you see too, like black belts milk it. You know, they'll do this, and then Vince will do like a subtle hip escape. Advantage. Hip escape. Advantage. I do it. You know, like I always tell people to play with your food. So if it's here, I get my 2 points. I give him my foot. All right, cool. Now another reset. 3 plus 2 again. 7. Just kidding. All right, guys, let's go. 1, 2, 3.